Well, I don't know exactly how much time we got, but I guess I was just trying to cope with my feelings any way possible that I thought was the right way, and it just led me down a path that literally spun my life out of control. I disliked everything about myself. I always felt like my life was just useless. I really had no meaning in life, and so I can still hear my grandmother. She used to always tell me, I should go to church and give my life to God and things like that. And at that time that she was telling me, I really was blinded by a lot of things. I wasn't able to fully, grasp that concept of what she was saying. And I was so involved in myself that I couldn't really let anybody in, not even family. And that's how waist deep I was in the streets. It's just so far gone in my own, sin. And so, recently my cousin had got killed in Oxnard, and that's what really did it. I flipped, man. I really found myself in a really bad place, and so what I did was I never thought I would do this in my life, but I secluded myself. I went to Camino Real Park, and I found myself with a handgun that I had and I loaded the gun up with 10 bullets, and so right before I did what I did, I dropped to my knees and I prayed, and I asked for forgiveness, and I asked, the Lord. I says, Lord, if you really do have a purpose for my life, and you really do love me, then please just give me a sign. Father, please forgive me, for I know not what I do. And I put the gun to my head, and I closed my eyes, and I pulled the trigger. But the gun, it wouldn't go off. I was looking at the gun like, okay, well, what's going on? Everything is in place. I put the gun back to my head and pulled the trigger again, and nothing happened. And then so I took the gun away from my head and I aimed it in the air, and then that's when I pulled the trigger for a third time, and the gun went off. I couldn't believe it. I had asked him for a sign. I prayed, and then that was my sign. So right there, I knew, God is real, and he ultimately, he did have a purpose for my life, and it wasn't for me to go out in that way.